Good Monday morning. It is the 23rd of December, or Christmas Eve, as some of us would say. Cold start to this morning. Some did get down into single digits, as I thought it may happen, but most got around, 11, 12 degrees at the lowest. I know it's 12 in my backyard, especially out west. I think a little further east was a little bit higher than that, but still cold start to the day. Here's that high pressure bringing the cold air for us. And it's sticking around. It's going to be chilly again today, but not quite as cold. Highs in the mid 30s. You do see that it's starting to retreat here. And although it's not showing well here, I will mention something else going on. I'm going to show a short-term forecast model here in about 2 seconds, because this little front that's kind of broken here that you see coming through is going to come through tomorrow morning. And when it does, it looks like it could have some moisture with it and cause a little bit of freezing rain. Likely in the morning. Probably not snow or anything, but maybe some sleet. So let's show that on the short-term model. All right, so here's the North American model, and we're going through today. Here we are in Loudoun, obviously. Hopefully you know where you live there. So we're going to go through the day. It is a little bit warmer. And then if you look tomorrow morning, you start to see this moisture show up. This is that small front that's going to come through, and here it comes. And then short-term models have been consistent on bringing this area of freezing rain and sleet through, most likely just freezing rain tomorrow morning. It looks a little menacing here, but it's really not much. It's just a few hundredths of a inch of precipitation, like 0.01 or 0.02. But with the surface being so cold from last night and what we're going into tomorrow morning, it's going to freeze on contact. So that's going to make it treacherous, and thus the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for tomorrow morning. And that is for a light glaze of ice, especially on bridges and overpasses. And do not take it lightly, y'all. This will be one of those times where the ice is so thin you may not recognize it and you'd slip and fall, or could slip around in a car. So just be careful. That's a quick view of tomorrow morning. Again, if you look at the timeline, we're talking around 7 to 9. Probably here we go, 6 a.m., 7 to 8, it's coming in and coming across. It's a pretty quick mover. Not going to be much, but just something to be a hassle in our first real winter weather advisory for the winter season. So there you go. All right, back to the national view. We'll go pretty quickly here. So now we're going into tomorrow morning. As I said, that doesn't show up much on this grid model. It's not as fine-tuned as the local short-range models are. Here we go out until the 24th. That's tomorrow morning, as I was mentioning. And then looking here, what we have is we have a high pressure system up to the northeast, and we're getting that cold air damming. I keep talking about it every week if you watch this. That's the cold air damming up against the eastern part of the Appalachian Mountains, and that's why we're staying cooler, even though the upper atmosphere, you see these isotherms way high, 500 millibar high, are showing much higher. It's not nearly as cold as these 540 below like we've had ongoing. Beyond about, I'd say Saturday, Sunday time frame, I'd start to say that things get a little murky. I don't think there's a real clear sense of exactly how things are going to pan out over the next week. But here we go. Again, this cold air damming. Look at this. Still got these arching, isobars, showing that there's colder air dammed up here on the East Coast. So we're not warming up a lot until this front comes and the winds finally change out of the south and kind of erode that away. Here we are on Monday, and it looks like some rain could come into the picture. It could be Sunday or Monday. If you look at the forecast, actually, I think it was showing Sunday. Now it's showing Monday. And this is going to be hard to shake just because the slow pressure system kind of hangs out and causes a little bit of easterly flow off the ocean, but should clear out. Now we're talking about the beginning of the year. Now this is where I'd say, hey, all bets are off on exactly what's going to happen after this time period, because exactly how the cold air rushes in, when it rushes in, and when low pressure systems form could mean some differences in what we have for sensible weather. As of now, it looks like this low is going to cut up to the west, really far west of us, which is fine. This is going to bring in some really strong southerly winds, and if it does, we're going to have a really warm couple of days as we start off our 2025. Eventually, though, that's going to turn around, and we're going to go from much warmer than normal to much below normal, and then ultimately an Arctic outbreak looks like it's going to try to come in at some point. How this all pans out is really up in the air. As a matter of fact, even this low and the way it works out with this high and and cold air and stuff. I think there's a window of opportunity, even though this is now showing to the west, which would be really warm again, that maybe this could actually bring some mixed precipitation and stuff. So yeah, that's how far out. We're so far out, I don't know what to tell you, because I think this is going to change and look different. Regardless, once this big low does come through, which is definitely showing up in the models, it's going to get really cold across the entire nation, and that includes us. It's just going to take a little while, and we're not sure what low pressure is going to do it. But when it does, it should flip us to colder, a potentially stormy air pattern, which could mean we get some chances for some snow or wintry weather at least. We'll see how that pans out. As of now, let's go to the short term. Again, just recapping. Today, cold, but not as cold. Not really windy, so it's just going to feel pretty nice compared to what it has been. It'll be a little bit warmer tomorrow, but not before the early morning tomorrow. We'll have some light sleet, freezing rain, likely mainly just freezing rain, glaze the area. So a winter weather advisory is out for tomorrow morning from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I'll probably shorten a little bit because I think the glaze will be gone pretty late in the morning. We up into the 40s tomorrow afternoon, so it's going to melt everything off. Then we stay in the 40s on Christmas Day, maybe not the sunniest of weeks in general. And then we start to look for potential rain chances sometime this weekend. I'm thinking now I'm leaning more towards Sunday, Monday time frame. And that maybe even the chances of rain that we do see are really just low end chances. But because we have easterly fetch and that cold air damming, we could squeak out some showers here or there along the way, but it just won't be very sunny. Then we look like we're going to warm up briefly, and then we'll have to see what happens with fronts and cold air and things like that, because I think between the 5th and the 10th is our first real window for chances of wintry weather, even though this is showing warm air, so we may be really warm briefly and then turning colder. But if we can get things to line up right, we could get some wintry weather. All right, that was a long outlook. Stay safe, have a great Monday, and enjoy your Christmas Eve. Hopefully you can get those things done and enjoy time with your family.